All right, live. I'm on here. So I know I was gonna do it yesterday at 8, but unfortunately Dallas was having some bad weather. I close on my house tomorrow, so I needed to get out of Dallas. So I could close on my house tomorrow. So I close on my house tomorrow by 1 o'clock. We do shoot a video, let y'all know, hey, I moved in. So I'm in a hotel down in Houston, just chilling today until because tomorrow we close on our house. So me and the wifey close. So I'm here a little earlier than I normally do. I said I was going to do every Wednesday. So unfortunately, I couldn't do that Wednesday. So I'm here, man, to answer any questions you may have. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it going. And I'm here. So probably won't be able to do this late, in the hotel room. Wifey will be here. And so we'll probably just chill, maybe go out to eat or something, have a couple drinks, celebrating, the new house that we'll be moving in this weekend. So, but anyway, what we got? What we got? I'm here. Got any questions? Any credit questions? I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna hang out with y'all till somebody start answering. I'm here. So what's up? Let's get these questions going. All right. All right. What's up, Michelle? You said I did settle with Capital One Auto. How do I get them off my credit? So first thing you need to do is wait till they update your credit report, because then we need to see, how did they update it? You know, how did they update your credit report, and go from there. Depend on the amount and see if they'll send you a 1099-C, which is a cancellation of debt, and then that's another way you can try to get them to go ahead and remove it off your credit report. So, but the best advice is to wait till they update your credit report and see what happens when they updated it. And then from that point, email me once you get the responses, and then we could talk about how you want to try to get that removed off your credit report. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, but beside that, what else did they reduce the balance? Uh, the, the other thing, how old is that account? Is it more than 3 years old? And then another thing I would do, call them and see, because call them and never send a 1099-C. Okay, did you ask them that they file a 1099-C with the IRS? So in 2021 they filed it and they never sent. I didn't ask. You need to ask them when did they file that 1099, because that could be your leverage to get it off your credit report. Because if they failed, they're required to send you that 1099-C, and if they never did, that could be your leverage to get it off your credit report. So you need to ask them. You need to call back and say, "Hey, did you file?" Because you can even get with the IRS, because the IRS will have if a 1099-C was submitted on you. If they never submitted that 1099-C and they never sent it to you, but they submitted it so for their own tax purposes to reduce their tax burden, but did not send it to you, and then that could be a leverage to get it off. But you definitely need to call them and find out if they uh, filed a 1099-C with the IRS. Hopefully, I answered your question. All right, cool. So, other things, Jared, we want to talk about is, I know I've been pushing y'all to start doing more disputes with the. Okay, clear media market. Great to hear your home is closed and all good. It says great to hear you. If the interest rates go up, yeah, but most they have to notify you before they do that anyway. So they're gonna have to notify you if any credit card companies up their rate. But the Fed is not talking about doing that till closer to the summertime. So they're talking about it, but uh, it's nothing that says how much. And they're talking about tapering it. So if they do it, if the Fed doing, it's going to be a little bit at a time. It's not going to be this gradual. So I doubt if most credit card companies are up on their interest rates anyway. Even a good credit card company is probably charging you 14%, so I just don't think they're going to be going up on your credit card rates like that, in my opinion. Okay, Nathan said the debt I was validated. They sent everything, all kinds of signed documents with my signature all on it. What's the best way to settle? Okay, Nate, how much? You don't mind? How much is the debt? Yeah, when they start sending you all kind of contracts, signatures on everything, it's probably gonna be difficult beating them in court. But I'm not saying that you can't. But how much is the debt? Is the debt a large amount? Is it a small amount? Man, if it's only 766, man, shoot me an email about that restrictive endorsement and send them jokers $350 on that restrictive endorsement, and then we'll create the contract for you to have them remove it and keep it moving. I wouldn't pay them no 766. Use that restrictive endorsement because now you can pay it and get it off your credit report. So yeah, don't pay the whole thing. Don't do a pay for deletion because they're gonna call and ask you to pay the whole 766. So you gotta play to their weaknesses. They greedy. So we can do email me about a restrictive endorsement letter. Hell, I'll put it together for you. You need a personal check. We'll write the terms and conditions. We'll do all the stuff, and then you'll get it taken off. That's easy money. I wouldn't even be tripping on that. Back to what I was saying is, I've been trying to tell people to attack more of the original creditors. Hey, we have to understand that when you ask the credit bureaus, they're working on your behalf. That's why it's called an indirect dispute. They're working on your behalf, right? So on that, and they're getting paid by those original creditors. That's a subscription. They pay those people. So yeah, they working on your behalf, but we don't pay them. They get paid by the creditors. So yes, it's fine. Dispute with the credit bureaus. But the first time, but you should also be doing direct disputes with the original creditors. They fall up under the same rules. So if you send them a direct dispute, because that's a direct dispute, they have to respond. If they don't respond, they're in violation, right? And remember, with a direct dispute, you're going to be talking to more of you're going to individuals going to be looking at that. They're definitely going. Original creditors can be sued just like collection companies and everybody else. So you're gonna have a live person looking at that in their credit department. So definitely do that. Learn strategies. Learn strategies. Don't be scared of attacking the original creditors. I've been doing some letters for some clients with, going after the original creditors because they got TransUnion say one thing, Equifax says something else, Experience says something else. Missing information, incomplete information. One says you on time, the other one says you not on time, all that, but you're disputing it and then you get a verified. Okay, no problem. Send that information and dispute it with the original creditor. Make them get off their behind. And then, pull a strong letter, put it in because they could be sued just like anybody else could be sued. If you're not following Metro 2 and Fair Credit Reporting Act and you're not reporting accurate information on my credit report, you could be sued for that because now you're damaging my ability to secure credit for your inaccurate reporting. So don't be scared to go after these original creditors, right? Look up there's some, when you're dealing with these collection accounts, and I'll talk, listen, if you have a collection account that had the debt and then they sold that debt to somebody else, listen, that first collection company viewed that debt and there's something wrong with it. They probably sent you a letter trying to get you to settle. You didn't settle. And then after you didn't settle, they moved it to another collection company and now they're trying. When you have that, there's something definitely wrong with that. They can't sue you and they're not going to sue you because collection companies are not going to be passing on debt like that if they have all the information to even try to take you to court, especially if it's a five, two, three, four, five, $6,000 debt, and then they sold it to another collection company. That's a clear indication that there's something wrong with it and they didn't want to deal with it. So they sold it. The other thing you have to read, if there's something called a chain of custody. So when it left, when the first collection company bought it from the original creditor, all that information needed to follow. And then the next the next collection company bought it from them. They still have to have the information from the first collection company who bought it from say Capital One. So not only do they bought it, they have to have the information from the first collection company that bought it, right? So all that stuff has to play in line. So it's more difficult the more collection companies have been sold a debt, the it's more difficult for them to collect on that debt, and they definitely not going to sue you on it because it's a lot of information they need to have. So let me go, Jessica. What's up, Jessica? She said I had a car accident in 20 and the car was paid off. Capital One is starting to send me text messages, and I still owe 1,000. How do I respond? I thought some states have yeah, every state has statutory limitations, but what state are you in, Jessica? What state are you in? Because Texas is 4 years, California is 4 years, I think South Carolina is 3 years, but your debt never goes away. The statute of limitations just state that they can't sue you for that debt once the limitation has been passed or met. It doesn't mean that the debt go away. Somebody can come and call you on a 20-year debt. I mean, you ain't got to pay them. They can't report it on your credit report. They can't sue you for it. So that's what they call zombie debts. And then that's where you have all these jacked up credit repair companies. They don't answer their phone. They'll call you and hang up. What's up, Brian? They'll call you and hang up. So South Carolina is 3 years for statutory limitations. I'm pretty sure it's 3 years. I can look it up right quick, but I'm positive that South Carolina statutory limitation is 3 years. Let's see. Uh, For yeah, statutory limitations. Okay. Hold on, let me do for debt. Okay. Yep, 3 years for medical debt and credit card debt. Oh, mortgage debt, 20 years in South Carolina, but 3 years. Jessica. So has it been 3 years? If it's been 3 years, Capital One, I'm gonna tell you, I had a Capital One uh debt that I had a car that I blew the engine on going to the racetrack. I had a bunch of work done to it. I was like $19,000 on this car. They never sued me for it. And I ended up getting a 1099-C for it, and then they ended up taking it off my credit report. And I settled for like 2750, and then they gave me a 1099-C, and then I settled the debt because they wrote it off on their taxes, right? So that's why when you get these charge offs from these companies, you need to call them and ask them, did you write this debt off? Did you submit a 1099-C to the IRS? Because if they did, then they wrote it off to reduce their taxes, and they should have sent you one, right? And then with that 1099-C, and you settle most time with, from my experience with Capital One, they'll take it off your credit report. Uh, okay, Nathan, the debt collector, that debt's not reported yet. Well, restricted notices. Yeah, I would still do it. I would, even a restricted notice, if they haven't reported yet, that'll stop them from reporting it. And they settle that debt, they cash that check, it's on. They can't even report it, right? But that's, if you want to go that route to make sure it never hits your credit report, I mean, I would do that. I mean, I wouldn't send them, like, again, I would 766. I probably send them 350 on a restricted endorsement. Make sure that they not reported. Just say, uh do not, just remove from my credit report. Do not, and I'll put the letter together for you. And yeah, you won't have any problem. You'll be good to go. Say, Jermaine, have you ever heard of LCI? Yeah, LCI is used by TransUnion. So typically Experian and Equifax use LexisNexis, but TransUnion don't fool with Lexis. They fool with LCI. So it's not a new credit reporting. It's just LCI is one that TransUnion has used. It says new reported agency located. If so, have you ever disputed information with them for bankruptcy? I I haven't disputed with them, but you can dispute your bankruptcy with them, and you definitely need to dispute your bankruptcy. You can't freeze your report, right? But you can still request your report from LCI and see what's reporting on that LCI and dispute the information off of LCI. Make them have to go out, make them have to verify it. How are they going to verify it? I mean, the only places they can verify is through Pacer. It's the only way. They can't call the courts. They can't call the trustee. I mean, so the only place they could obtain that information is through the Pacer system. Okay, he said, just said so. Thanks so much. Okay, Jimmy. Experience uses them now also. Uh, I have to look into that because I mean, reports I've seen and on their website and things they look at, they still show they may be still using both of them. So yeah, I'll definitely do some research on that. Been having I have been I say this I've been having to challenge them. Uh, Nathan, okay, I'll look up with you soon. Uh, yeah, I'll do some research on that experience though, because I want to. That's really new. Yeah, so but it don't make a difference who they use. As you're the consumer, you have a right to know what's reporting and what they use against you. So whoever they use, you can still go after them and make them verify and they can still delete that information, right? It doesn't it doesn't make a difference who they are. You just need to understand that you can go after them and try to dispute that information off of there. If it's Stagestream, LexisNexis, CoreLogics, ACR, and any other bureau, if it's a check reporting, check reporting, any of those bureaus, you can dispute the information. They have to give you show you, and you can request that information. What I'm saying, you can request that information from them. It's free, and then you should be able to challenge that information. Uh, so back to what I was saying about collection companies. If they sell your from one collection to another, I promise you, there's something wrong with it. You definitely need to be challenging that. If it's a big amount, I would definitely take them to court. If it's 5,000, they didn't sold that twice, I would be taking them straight to court. Yeah, yeah. So he said. So LCI responded not to contact them. Or did a collection? Was it LCI? Because they can't be telling you not to contact them. Yeah, because that's weird. They shouldn't be telling you when they're housing your information not to contact them. So I'm assuming you're saying that LCI told you not to contact them, because that's definitely strange. No, that's strange. I would definitely write them again. Yeah, they cannot. I would still send them another letter. I would send them another letter on my consumer rights. If you're housing information on me and you're using that information against me, I have a as a consumer, I have the right to know what you're housing on me, and I should be able to dispute that. If there's still a bureau, you still have a right to. So yeah, if you need to get a lawyer, but I would definitely. Did they tell you not to contact them in a letter, or was it something? Because I don't think you can call. I've never called them, so I'm not even gonna say you can or can't. But I didn't know if you can even call LCI. But I'm curious about that. So maybe I need to do some research on that. So I'm really curious on that. I Next Wednesday when I do this next live, I'm gonna make a note of this LCI investigation. I'm gonna do some research, man. Next time we have a letter. I mean, next week when we do this live, I'm gonna have some information on that. Just email me. Just email me. Go to the what's the name and email me. No, what you should do is you need to email them back and say, experience you're supplying Experian with information that is inaccurate. As a consumer, I have a legal right to know what you're reporting and what you have on me, basically, and just tell them that I need to dispute. I want to dispute that information. Yeah, I would do live, man. Yeah, I would definitely just send them a letter. You just got to send them a powerful letter, man. And then, email me. Let's talk about this. Maybe I can help you put together a letter to send to them, because I'm curious about that. Because I can help the next person because this is odd. I've never heard anybody having issues with that. Yeah, but you're saying most of it was through email, right? So did you send them a letter? Did you respond to the letter? If it's an email, I'm like, don't email me. I need a letter. Yeah, I'm gonna do some research on that one, because that's new. That's new for me. So I've never seen heard or seen anybody said that they had an issue with LCI. So, and what it is, people are starting to get smart with them and they just trying to play everybody off. But you're a credit reporting agency. You fall up under every credit reporting agencies fall up under Metro 2. They all do. So don't let them, and it's in Metro. I can show you in Metro 2. If you got the master dispute package, I can show you where it says it. They all fall up under Metro 2. They all are required to report accurate information. They can't tell you to go to another credit bureau if you're directly disputing with them. So you need to, man, I'm directly disputing your information on your report. I'm challenging that information that you're reporting on your report. And I'm requesting that report. I'm requesting the information that you're reporting. And that's what you need to do. Okay, I called CoreLogics to opt out, but they said don't report to consumer reporting agent, but they list on my on my report to look into some company that started with AT. I don't know, because all those third party, they all collect data on you. So I don't know. I guess people they're getting a lot more responses from creditors about the information that they're housing on them, and maybe they're trying to deter people. But you have to let them know, y'all all, since y'all are all credit reporting agencies. Y'all all report data, so y'all all fall up on the Metro too. So you definitely, because I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. Talking to these representatives, they don't be knowing nothing. They don't know the laws. They don't know. They're not reading it. They just following whatever SOPs they may have. So don't let them tell you one thing. You got to fight through it. You definitely got to fight through it. Don't let them. It's, for example, I called a credit card company when we was doing our mortgage thing because there was some updates on my credit report that wasn't showing. I had paid off a credit card, but it wasn't showing. So Equifax. So what happens is your mortgage company will get a hold of Equifax. Equifax will call you to verify uh, the balance. So they're gonna call the credit card company. You pass through all the security questions, and then this one girl gonna tell me. I said, "Well, what's the balance on my account?" Right? So Equifax can verify that it's a zero balance. She was telling me I can't give you that information. I'm like, what? How you can't give me my own information? If I call, I can't give you that. I was like, this girl don't know what she's talking about. I said, who's your supervisor? You're gonna have to call back and speak to somebody else. Like there's people that don't know, so end up having to hang up with it, call somebody else, and the next person gave me the balance. So sometimes these representatives, and I'm gonna give you another example. Uh I was talking, you can't just listen to these representatives. You got to fight through them because the next person, oh, my wife trying to call. Let me tell her. She been calling live a bunch when I be live. So so end up calling the next person, and then they gave me whatever I need. Give you another example. So my car, I got a Mercedes. I had a bunch of work done to it, hanging out. I blew the engine on it while I was in California, C63. So I took it in. It's getting the shop. They're fixing it. I took it to the shop I wanted to. So I got a warranty on the car. So they're trying to tell me I need to take it to a Mercedes dealer. I said, I don't want to take it there. I already know the guy. He specializes in Mercedes. I'm taking there. The dude argued with me for about 40 minutes. I'm like, dude, I got the contract. It's nowhere in this contract that says I have to take it to a Mercedes dealership. I don't have to take it to one. What if I live somewhere and ain't a Mercedes dealership? Right. So then I was like, you know what? I don't even want to talk to you because you don't even know what you're talking about. So I asked to speak to the supervisor. But the supervisor tell me, yeah, you need to get with them. The procedures are a little different. You need to have them to fill out, do the whatever issues are with the car, submit it to us, and then da da da. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes don't be listening to these representatives because they don't know what they're talking about. You need to go past them, talk to somebody else, talk to their supervisor, because they don't know. They just don't know. How does a 1099A deals more with your mortgage? And y'all, hey, listen, y'all can Google that 1099A. I know people trying to tell you, but it deals more with your mortgage, not with debt. That's the difference between the C and the A. The A is more mortgage debt. There's different things that go along with your mortgage debt. So you definitely look that up. All right, so he says, okay, Michelle, how does the 1099, if I do a 1097 for credit card debt, how will it affect my SSI benefit? I pay no taxes. Now say 75 would be added to my income tax. Yeah, it could be add, but listen, it's all about where it falls, but there are exceptions. I did a video on this. You could file a 982 because you're insolvent and not pay it. I did a video on that. There's a video called on 982. You can file a 982. This is MK Mitchell. You can file a 982, which means you're insolvent. And all that does is you're going to add up all your debt, and then you're going to add up all your income. If your debt outweighs your equity, then you're insolvent and you don't have to pay the on that 1099C. You're out of it. I did a video on that. Go back to the video on 1099C. All right, salty. Anyone get that? Awkward. No, pay attention to that. Yep. So yeah, most times, man, when you're dealing with these representatives, just don't listen to them. You got to keep fighting. They're gonna deter you. They're gonna make you feel like they know what they're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Do your research. Ask the right questions, but don't believe what I don't believe what none of them tell me. One tell me one thing, I hang up, call back, talk to another person. Hang up, call back to another person. Then I'm gonna go do my research. But I'm not listening to these people, man, because they don't have your best. They don't have your best interests at heart, man. So, but uh, what I would do is, I definitely would not listen to them. What other questions we have? We got to get some deeper questions. I have no idea. Go back if a 1099 I could buy a home with. You got a lot of people out here talking about consumer law, and there are consumer laws. There are all type of different laws. I'm gonna do a video on it. You know, uh, the thing I have a problem with is when people get on YouTube and say, "Hey, I bought a car for free." Because of consumer laws, and they may have. The problem is that I have is they don't break it down step by step by step by step. If I went and got a car for free and I'm on here, I'm gonna break it down. Step one, this is what I did. Step two, this is what I did. Step three, this is what I did. Uh, Step four, this is what I did. Step five, this is what I did. When this happened, this is what I did. When this happened, this is what I did. It's just they just say yeah, and they give you this vague on what they did, but it's never. And there's only one. You only find one or two people, right? So that's the problem with me. Something is that's gonna be that prevalent, that easy, and maybe it's not that easy, but it can be done over and over again. I mean, I just don't see a lot of people talking about it to prove me wrong. So I don't know anything about a 1099A buying a house, right? That's when you're dealing with mortgage companies. Hell, if you ever bought a house, man, They don't be playing, man. They got laws on top of laws, statements on top of statements on top of statements. Just buying a house, man, is a headache. It is a straight up headache. So, uh, that's outside my realm, and I'm not even gonna get in that. Uh, the Metro 2 is inside the credit resource guide. You got to get the credit resource guide. Like I said, I have it in my master dispute package, which is free, not the master dispute package, but all the manuals. I don't charge you for the manuals. All the manuals are free within the package. Uh, so anybody have problems with? Okay, hold up. I said thanks. I just found you today after listening to many other different. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you things. I'm gonna keep it real with you. So, I mean, you got to realize some people are more concentrated on views, man. It is what it is, and we gotta be honest with ourselves. I listen to people on TikTok be like, "Hey, I got a secret about what's the name." I got people talking about uh dispute codes when they don't really use dispute codes. They use Metro 2. They use the language. They just use Oscar now to transmit the information from the credit bureaus to the original creditors, and then they use a automatic credit dispute verification form. That's what goes over to the what's name. And then if there are any changes, the creditors uses a AUD form. So it's all, see, people trying to give people all this information and they ain't even doing no research. Like I can tell when I listen to people that they ain't even doing no research. They just telling people something and they think that's how it go. And I'm like, you gotta really do your research, man, when it comes. And it's so many things. Like today I was looking up consumer law, and I'll have a video on that, on some things, especially with debt collectors, man. Like I'm always learning new stuff, man, about how to attack a debt collector. Which uh matter of fact, with Brian, like, he got me doing some letters for him, and I found some stuff that he's gonna be adding with his stuff that's gonna be powerful, right? Because it's certain things that I'm starting to learn, and I continue to learn, man. And I think that's what make me, good at what I do, is I'm not stop learning. I'm not just doing the same thing over and over. Like I'm continually researching and looking for different and other strategies to help people to improve their credit. It's a never ending cycle, man, because there is so much information out there. The credit resource guide, 300 and something pages. It's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Hell, that's probably about 200 pages. It's so much information out there. You got so many things that deal with credit and how stuff is reported and how people are supposed to be reporting. It's a never ending cycle on trying to learn all this stuff. And when people don't go in and dig deep and they just scratching the surface, they not gonna help you as much as they want, right? Just like when you starting to build your credit, man. I tell people all the time, like, some people, all they look at is getting negative stuff off, and they don't concentrate enough on building their credit. And then you got to also be careful on trying not to add too much information, too much credit at one time. Because what happens is you start adding all these bad cards on your credit report, it's going to hurt you from getting the good cards. Because all those little $300 cards, they're subprime cards, and they're listed as subprime cards. Yes, build your credit, but be careful on how much of those raggedy cards you put on there. Start get enough on there to build your credit, and then start looking for, okay, I want to look for a Capital One, and then you want to look for a Discover card. Then go to your credit union, go to your bank, get a secure card from your bank, develop relationships with your bank or your credit union. Do those things, develop those relationships, show the on time, right? Take out a little $500 loan with them, a secure loan, and pay it off. But be careful. I try to tell people, quit having all these $300 cards on your or $500 card. It's killing you from getting the 5,000, the 10,000, the $15,000 cards. So it kills you. So like when I was building my wife credit, said my wife had zero. Together, both of us together have over $100,000 in personal credit, and I ain't even talking about business credit. We don't use it like that, right? But it's the access to it. Do you often invoice them for validation when they send you debt letters? Okay, do you often invoice them? Do I invoice them? Do I invoice who? The debt collector? So I'm gonna tell you what I do when I get a debt collection letter. There are languages in a debt collection letter that they must abide by. So the first thing, yeah, this is listen. This is what I tell. Let me answer the first question. So the first thing, when you get a debt collection letter, there are languages that are required in a debt collection letter. There are certain things that must be in that letter. And I've seen letters that they don't even put that information in it. It's not just the this is an attempt to collect the debt. There's all kind of stuff. If they come with a PO box on that first letter, they're out of violation. They have to have their corporate address, not a PO box. Hell, if you can see that it's a debt collection letter through the window glass, there's court cases that people have won just on that. That's why it's all about digging. Understand what is required in a debt collection letter. What is required in that? Once you see that, the first thing you should do is look at that letter and see if there's any violations in that letter. Right? Now, the second thing, yes, this is what I tell you. If you're going to sue a debt collection, I would first of all get me a good lawyer. It's just a lot to. There are some people, and if you want to know some attorneys on YouTube that are really good, they go after debt collectors. I can give you some, give you some YouTube channels to go check out. They fight debt collectors all the time, right? I listen to them because they give me ammunition to go after them. So, if you want to know that, I can give you some YouTube channels that are great for debt collection. But listen, if somebody sends you a debt for $1,000, it's not worth. A lawyer is probably going to cost you more than that. So now you're going to end up paying more for a lawyer than the debt, and take a chance that you're going to win the case. I keep preaching. It's all about that restrictive endorsement. I'm gonna send them $500, and then I don't want them. And if it's on my credit report, for them to get that money, for them to touch that $500, they're gonna agree to what I put in my restrictive endorsement letter. If they don't, they got to send that back to me, because I'm putting in there, return that back to me. And there's a bunch of stuff I put in that letter that's awesome. So let's see. Okay. Tamika says, when getting a secure card, how much should I put on? As much as you can afford, because the more you can afford on your secure card. So the next thing, if you get a $300 card, you put $30 on it, you're already at 30%. That's always gonna kill. That's what's so horrible about them cards. You go put some gas on it. Hell, gas now, if you fill up your tank, about $50. So if you put $50 and you don't get it paid off before they report it, you have already surpassed 30%. Now your score gonna drop, because now you're over 30% utilization. So on your secure card, put the most on there. So 10% of 1,000 is 100. So even if you use $50 on it and you pay it off, even if they accidentally report it, you're still under your 30. You're still under. I mean, excuse me, $1,000 is $300 is 30%. So you got more. You got more room to play with when you're using your cards, right? But if you go get a $300 card and you put $30 on it, you're already there. That's what hurts you. So as much as you can put on there, just put as much uh put as much on there. Hold on, I said I got my numbers all wrong. I think 300 on 30 is like $65, not $30. So let me do this. So make sure I ain't jacking stuff up. Oh, $90. So I'm sorry. So if you put $90 on it, you're already at 30. You're already at 30%. I do my numbers. So excuse me for throwing that wrong number out there. But $300 is 90. So the more you put on your secure card, the more space you have in case they report it for utilization purposes. So I would put as much as I can. And with a secure card, even if you start off with 300, what I did when I was building my credit, I started off with 300, and then I would add $100 every month, or every time I got paid, I put another 100. I bumped my secure card up to like $2,000, and then when my credit got straight, that was a bank account. That was my savings. So when I started getting my Discover cards, my Capital One, I mean, I got American Platinum, American Express. When I started getting those credit cards, hell, I had $2,000 I had saved up. So I closed that account. I had $2,000 to do other stuff. It's like a little savings account, right? So put as much on it as you can. And if you can't put, if it's just find out how much can I put on it. That's why it's good to do it with your bank or credit union. So when you go into your bank, you say, hey, I want to add to my secure card. And then they can process it there at the bank, and you can continue to do it instead of having to mail it in to like Open Sky. I had Open Sky, which is a good one. But you got to mail it in, wait for them to process it, then do all that. So if you do it with your credit union, you'll be good to go. What's it? Brian said any logo phase, it includes many random feature, include consumer rights logos. What else y'all got? I don't really. You know what? I've been digging in consumer law. I'm gonna have a class on some consumer law stuff. But there are a lot of people out there, and this is what I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna keep it really real with you. Talk to a consumer lawyer, man. Sometimes, because I don't care what nobody says, if the courts ain't gonna let you win, you wasting your time and money. So there are consumer laws, but there's so many of them, and people need to realize there are things that trump other things. There are things that trump other things. So just because one law says something doesn't mean there's another law that supersedes that law in certain instances. So you got to know all the laws. It's easy for me to spit one law at you in consumer law and then get you to believe that one law and then forget all the other laws that go in consumer law. There's tons of them. So I don't like, I'm gonna do a class on the area of consumer law, but it's really reflecting how debt collectors and what the information they need to have. So those are the things that I'm concentrating on. But I'm not gonna tell you, I'm not gonna give you one thing about consumer law and then uh, delete everything else. So I'm gonna do my research before I come at y'all with that, because I don't believe in giving out a whole lot of misinformation, not a whole lot, but many misinformation. Yeah, Brian said Patelco offers a installment loan that they give you the balance back after completing. There you go. I mean, I told people there's places, Grain, there's, you got Self Lender, you there's a there's a bunch out there. Just be My advice to you is be particular when you're building, how you're building. Don't get so caught up in putting all this information on there that end up coming back to bite you, right? So I'm not telling you not to put stuff on there. Be specific, because you want to continue to grow, especially with your credit card. You want to continue to move up the ladder, right? You don't want those little cards, because Chase, they have a what's it called, a 524 rule. If you've opened up 5 cards in 24 months, they won't even give you a card, no matter how good your credit is. These up tier credit card companies got some very high standards. So if you're throwing a bunch of stuff on your credit report, you got all these new cards, they're gonna probably delete. They're gonna probably deny you. Let me see. It gave me back my 200 and gave me. There you go. See, Michelle said she had a secure card with them. They gave her 200, gave her back $1,000. And Discover is a great company, especially in your first year, because in my Discover I was charging everything on there, so I can get my $75 each month and paying them off. So, and that's the other thing you want to build right, because you want to get, like, I have cash reward cards, I have reward cards, I have all that. There's all kind of there's an app called let's see, okay, the master dispute package it's nothing but information on how, in almost every situation, on how to deal with credit, how to deal with your credit, how to, affidavits. There's all the manuals that you need. There's uh, letters in there. The letters are not templates; they're just guide. They help you. There's stuff to talk about. Uh, Repossessions. There's tons. I am putting a book together right now. It's about 160 pages of information. Right, it is a lot of information. Not a bunch of regulations, laws. It's stuff. Every time I do something and I find information, I stick it in there. So then, and I said the next week, I said 2 weeks after I get moved, get settled in my house, get my office back up, get my my equipment. I'm ordering some other stuff. I'll be putting that up there, putting the book up. But it's a powerful book. It's got court cases where people have went to court and court have uh, uh, ruled on certain things about credit. There's so much stuff in there. It's a lot of knowledge. I'm telling you, people that have gotten it have been like, damn, man, that's a whole lot of knowledge. Some people have been overwhelmed with the knowledge that's in there, but I've never had one person complain about it. And so it's a very powerful book when you want to understand all aspects of credit and different strategies. Restrictive endorsement letter is in there. It's all kind of stuff. It's tons of information. Once I get it all together, I'll do a video on it. I'll go down the table of contents of everything that's in this book. uh I'll do all of that. But it's a powerful book. I mean, and anybody that buys it now, when the book comes out, you'll get the book for free. I will send you the book. It's not that big of a deal. What else we got? Because we're running up on an hour. What else we got? Brian, I already told you. Just tell me you want it. I'll send you an invite. I mean, I invite. I'll send you an invoice. I'll send you an invoice. Right now, listen. Right now, the package is $70. When the book comes out, it's going up to 100. Like I said, everybody that buys it now, when the book comes out, because I have my invoice, I know every email I sent it to, and everybody that bought it, they will get the book for totally free. It's just more in line. I'm not going to ask you for $5, $7. I'm not asking you for anything. If you already purchased it, you will get the book for free. It's bottom line. And if you can find another book that's more powerful, that I'll give you your money back. That covers everything I cover in that book. I will give you your money back. All right, I'll send you an invoice. I will give it. I will give that back. I'll give you the money back. That's just how confident I am in it. That and how powerful the information is in there. You know. So, and I'm still doing research. So, uh, I'm digging. Because I love this. I love being able to give people good information, right? Y'all know the deal. Like, subscribe, and share. Yeah. What else we got? Yeah, I'm gonna do a little video of the house, show y'all like tomorrow when we close. Me and the wife are going, show y'all just our nice little house. It's a pretty nice house, all brick. Uh, We're gonna end up putting a pool in the backyard. My house in California I had built too. And that's the other thing, man. Buy a house. Buy a house. When I bought my house, check this out. This is real talk. I bought my house in California. The base price was 476 in a brand new development. We had upgrades done. Bought the house for 519. We moved in that house. We had a pool. We had a pool put in the back, right? We had some other stuff done to it. We lived in that house for 18 months. 18 months. And we sold that house. And we made the exact amount. We made $294,000 on that house in 18 months. So me and the wife, like, we moving back to Texas. We out. So don't let everybody should be buying a home. Don't let nobody tell you it's cheaper to rent than buying a home. Even if it's a small home, buy something small. Live in it for 6, 7 a year, and then move out of it. Rent it out. Move in something else. Pull the money out of that house that you've gained in equity. Use that money to down payment on your new house. Live in that house. And then you may be like, shit, I'm doing good over here. You lived in that house for 6 months. Then maybe the value of the house went up. You want to move out, move into another house, draw the money out of that house, put it down on another house, move somebody in that house. Now you got 2 streamlines of income. Like, we don't think enough about how to grow our wealth, you know. So quit renting, buy a home. Shit. I hated renting this. My wife moved in that apartment in July, and that's been way too long. Can you sell property and not pay taxes? Now you getting, I don't know. Now we're getting into tax codes. So I don't know about selling property and not paying taxes. And it all depends on what state you're in. Texas got some high property taxes. So I'm not sure about that. So who else said, okay, ground voice. My fiance had an ex-husband who took out a car loan in her name. How can she dispute it? Was it was so she took out a car? Did she can she claim that was it fraud? Because if he took out a car loan in her name, you gotta look at, was the signature on the documents that when the car was purchased, was her signature on there? That's what you need to look at. So that's what you need to look at. Was it fraudulent? Because I'm gonna tell you something. People sometimes, man, I don't want to get him in trouble. Man, if somebody got something that I wasn't approved that's damaging my stuff, man, I ain't got no sympathy for you now, because now you damaging my ability to create wealth, and I'm not going to deal with that. First thing you need to look at is, did she sign the documents when the car was purchased? Because it's going to be hard to prove that he did it without her consent if her signature is on there. So that would be the first place I start. I would reach out to the loan company for the car and request the loan documents and have them sent to you, and then go over the loan document to see if that's her signature, if he forged the signature, all of that. That's what I would do first. Yeah. So, okay, nigga said, what's mine after COVID? So, it's short sale. The 20K I could get out of this. Okay, hold up. But you say, Nikki said, I lost mine after COVID. Sold it via short sale. The 20. Okay, so yeah, that hurt. Yeah, that hurt, Dickie. That hurt. That they took you. You lost 20,000. Yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow. But I know how COVID was. Yeah, that's hard. But during COVID, though, I think a lot of people made mistakes because COVID, there was a lot of laws in COVID that protected people in their houses, right? Some people reacted slow, not slow, just didn't react in a timely manner. right? But yeah, short sale and couldn't take the 20K. Yeah, yeah, mm-mm, they took that. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Should have known. I'd have did some research for you. If you'd have known me before then, I'd have did the research for you. He said, "Okay, I took out a credit card to match her." So you say he took out a credit card to mess her credit up. Shit, I'll file a police report, Mr. Ground Voice. I'll file a police report for fraud. I wouldn't have no sympathy on them, but sometimes, there may be kids involved and other stuff like that. So, but man, I would file a police report too, because again, yeah, that's fraud all day long. Again, because I would, man, no, I just when that God, man, I'd be like, I don't care what you got kids. I don't care about none of that. Uh, I don't care about you. If you taking out credit cards, using it under my name and damaging my credit, harming my ability to grow, I would have a conversation about that. Mm-mm. Wait. Now I get it, but check this out, nigga. You can whatever happened, it can all be changed around. It could all be changed, right? So we all been through bad things. Shit. Listen, I had a short sale in Ohio when the housing market crashed. I had a 4-bedroom, 5-level split house in Columbus. Well, actually, it was in Pataskala, Ohio, right outside of Columbus. Beautiful home, all by myself, living large. But the housing market crashed. I lost my job with nobody hiring in the Midwest. Like I was going to the library like every day. I was in the library like it was a job, 9 to 3, putting in applications, couldn't find a job. But check this out. I didn't even know this, but because I was, I'm retired military, I had my GI Bill money. I went back to school. Shit, for 2 years I went back to school. And the 2 years I went back to school and didn't even work a job, I made $50,000 in both of those years from my retirement, from my school money, from my unemployment. Man, I was chilling. I was chilling. But I didn't care about that house. I wasn't paying that house. No, I was like, y'all come get it. I'm not even paying y'all. And then they end up short selling it. Right. And then because all the illegal stuff they were doing at that time, because they weren't even working with people to try to help them. Like they wouldn't even work with them. I said, hey man, I lost my job. Is there any way we can work? They were saying, well, you could pay more money than what my mortgage was. I was like, how's that helping me? Like you gotta, they weren't even trying to help. So when they short sold, that stuff came off my credit report because it was a lot of illegal stuff that all these big banks was doing because of that. So the luckily thing about it, even when my house got short sold, it came off my credit report. It wasn't even reported. So, uh, but you can get it back, get this credit right, then start looking. My listen, if you're gonna buy a home, I would recommend do a new build. Most new builds most new builds are where you're gonna get the biggest uh way to get down payment assistance. Listen, we're building a new build. They gave us $6,000 uh uh for down payment, for closing costs, what they call it, closing costs. They pay for our uh, appraisal. They pay for our appraisal, and they reduce the price of the house for us. So I like going with new builders. Same thing with the first house I bought. Got a good deal, took care of us. I like new builds because they ain't old. You get updated stuff. They already gonna put your refrigerator, all that stuff in there. It's all updated. I like new builds. I don't really do old houses. Uh, I'm not sure how long you have to wait after a short sale, but I would actually talk to somebody about that. how long. But if it do at that, this is the time to do what you need to do. So when that time is up, because 2 years is gonna move pretty fast. Once that time is up, then all you need to do, you be in the situation where you can get it. Listen, buying a house, them jokers want to know everything. I be telling like, y'all don't look at, damn, y'all don't look up under my arms. What else y'all want? Man, they ask for a lot of information. So you definitely have to get your credit right. Don't just think about your score. Be careful, look at your bank accounts. Make sure you don't have a bunch of overdrafts. Make sure if you have a business, you're not drawing money out of for your business out of your personal checking account. I mean, you got to know, you got to be taking care of all this stuff. Well, I'm retired military, so I get VA, and my wife she's a veteran, so we use uh, VA. So we got a VA. So what's the best resource for VA home loan? What I used was what I'm using right now is Veterans United. They're the number one VA home loan company. If you're gonna go with Veterans United or uh, Navy Federal. The first one I used was Navy Federal. This one I used was Veterans United. They're up there at the top. If you ask me what two, I would say those probably be the top two I would use. Incentives. Yeah, I like just new builds is way. I just like the incentives, man. A lot of them they just but housing is up now, man. Housing is up. But it's all a cycle, man. It's going slow. But new builds is where I would go. It says personal information dispute online for. I really don't like uh, online disputing. I'm not an online disputer. A lot of people like to get on there and dispute online. Personal information, I'm going to erase it from LexisNexis or third parties, and then I'm going to send in my driver's license with my update a bill, and I'm going to tell them to update my personal information. I'm not really big on online disputes. That's just me. Uh, so I want to have a record of paperwork that I sent them. You can send it in certified, because if they ever act stupid and I want to take them to court, I want to have a history of everything I do, and I want to have to be looking for, can't get on their website because they website down. I'm just not a big online dispute person. Yeah. But yeah, I love Navy Federal, man, for shit, man. My wife got 2 credit cards. I got 2 with Navy Federal, and I'm thinking about getting another one. Actually, I'm thinking 2 things: either consolidating, closing those, and getting to a bigger one. Because with Navy Federal, man, you can get credit cards up to like $50,000. So I'm thinking about either closing those out and having one. I just haven't made, but I have 2 of them. So you can see with the third party. Yeah, sure can. You sure can with third parties. Don't play Stagestream, Nexus, Lexus, uh, check cash in places that you on the check system. All them places you can dispute that information with. Yeah, they housing your personal information. They sharing your personal information with other people. How you know it's accurate? How you know that somebody else haven't put some inaccurate information on there? So you definitely can dispute third parties. Oh, okay. So he's giving a tip. That's what's up, Clear Media. So yep, that's another good thing. First time home ownership. So yeah, that's what's up. That's what we're here for, to pass on good information. I may not have all the answers, but the platform is for us to be able to pass information, uh, to help each other out. Yeah, I'm not a freezing is good, but the reason I say this is why I say there's unknowns about freezing, and there are things there's certain things that cannot be froze, right? So I'm a more avid that I'm gonna go to you, and then I'm gonna dispute it off. So I ain't gotta freeze it, right? I mean, and then I just hate, you got to go back and unfreeze, make sure you didn't lose your pin numbers and all that. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying I'm more like I want to go after and clean it up. Like So when I got my LexisNexis report, I got it. I looked at everything on there I didn't want on there. I got my bankruptcy removed off of it. I got addresses removed off of it. And it was so easy getting that stuff removed off my credit report because when they went to go look, they couldn't find it. And it was easy to get it taken off. So I'm really big on let's get it off. Like I don't want it on there because first of all, I don't want an accident that it pops back up there. Because we've seen our credit report, well, how did it get back on there? I had this removed. Well, how did this address? That ain't even my address. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm big on just getting it removed altogether. Like, that's me. But I'm not saying don't freeze it. I'm just saying if it ain't on there, if it's not on there at all, it don't make a difference. They can't get the information. So, but yeah, everybody that reports information to somebody has to fall under Metro 2. I can show it to you. Every company that passes information or shares information to another company, credit, that all these credit bureaus, they fall under Metro 2. They're sharing information. Yeah. All of them. And I can show it to you. And I do the next video. Matter of fact, I need to figure out. Email me. I'll email it to y'all. Shit, I ain't. Yeah, I'll show it to you. Maybe I'll put it up, show it, and then type it in so you can get it. Uh, uh, so, uh, yeah, I'll show it to you. Everyone that passes information. I think I even said it in my last video when I was giving that last video. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if they're sharing information with somebody else, they fall under Metro 2. So that's what's up. So, and they could be sued under Metro 2. Same way they could be sued under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. They could be sued under multiple things. So the collection company, they could be sued under Metro 2. So don't let them think they can get away with it. They reporting stuff all jacked up. Shit, hit them in the head. The master dispute package is $70. And again, if you buy it, because the book is coming out, email, you need my email access. So what happens is I send you this invoice. I email that package to you, so it's available. Now, when the book comes out, that's why I'm telling people it's going to be a digital book. You're going to have to download it. So it's gonna be a little different. I got my man Eric. I don't know if he on here live, but I got my I'm getting ready to have my whole website redone over. We're gonna be doing some different things on there. It's gonna be where y'all be able to ask questions on the website. So when we do these live chats, I could answer your questions. Let's see. So, okay, I see. So email you to get the map. Yep, you email me to get the map. I'll send you out a invoice, and then when you, oh yeah, Eric is here. All right, so yeah, Eric gonna take care of me, and I'm gonna be getting this. Once I get this move done, get all out the way. Me and him gonna sit down, get this website done, and make it a lot easier for y'all to obtain it, get it, download it, all that. So we're gonna be working to get it down. Yeah, just email me. And if you want to listen, I keep it real with you. You can ask me whatever questions you want. I can send it to you. We can set up and I can talk to you about the master dispute packet. We can talk. You can ask me any questions about it, whatever you want before you even buy it. And then once you get whatever you want, because I want to make sure it's right for you. I'm not gonna force it on you. I may say you don't need it. I've had people that I said, man, if it's good to have information to help our family members, but you don't need it. But some people, I want it because it's a lot of good information. So you can ask me any questions before you buy any of that. I'm okay with that. because it's a lot of information. I promise you, it's going to be anybody that bought it. I promise you, it's going to be overwhelming amount of information in there. You're going to have to sit down and go through every one of that stuff and be like, dang, I didn't know that. Dang, I didn't know that. So it's a lot of information. And I'm telling you, I'm still digging. I'm still digging. I say it's the same process you take to clean your own credit report. Yeah. And I've learned more. I've learned so much when I clean. I clean now. My wife, listen, my wife had a 486 before. We was living in California. We was renting. We had a 2-year lease. After the first 12 months was over, I was like, babe, we need to try to buy a house. We make too much money to be renting, sending somebody else's kid to college, Harvard. We need to have our own house. So we went, they pulled a credit report. She had like a 480 something, a 480 something, like a 509. I said, babe, don't worry about it. I'm going to fix it. So I'm a digger. Like I go dig. Like I'm going to go dig for the information. 15 months later, she had a 720 and about $30,000 in credit cards. Right now, she's 7. She well up in the 7. She chilling. So so it's a process, but yeah, I did the same, and I've learned so much more from that time. And it's a video. Hold on, my wife must got something real important. What's up, babe? Hello? Hello? And she ain't even say nothing. I think she just. Hello? Okay. All right. All right, bye. All right, bye. She need me to send her the Fidelity, my brokerage account. Oh, we're gonna talk about stocks too. So, all right, now it's about an hour. I'm gonna have to get off of here. Do you struggle waiting for credit, clearing up personal loans, and clean up applying? Okay, okay. Do you struggle? Do you suggest mailing for clean credit up personal information and applying for? Yeah, I recommend that. Pre-screening always is good. Pre-screening is always good for credit cards. Yeah. But check this out. Let me get off of here. My wife blowing me up. We got some. I got to send over my brokerage statement to this people because of this house. So I got to get off here. And hey, next Wednesday we'll be back at it. It may probably be next Thursday because I'm moving. I need to get my office in order. But it most likely I'm gonna do next Wednesday. But we'll get it down. Right. So, hey, I appreciate y'all for hanging out. Hey, email me if you got some questions and stuff like that. It's in the description. Just go to the description, email me. I'll see y'all later. I'm out. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for all the new subscribers, and be coming out with a new video next week and our live. So we're gonna keep it going, man. We're gonna keep it learning. I'm gonna keep digging. I got some more information for y'all. So I'm out. Hey, appreciate all y'all, man. I love all y'all, man. And I want to make sure I can be there to help y'all. So, hey, have a good weekend. Stay safe.